So for this discussion, we are going to be talking about like the first episode of Boruto, the Naruto Next Generation. There's some subtitles to it, but it's just Boruto.
It's Boruto.
It's Boruto
Bolt.
or Bolt if you like read like, I guess, chapter 700 of Naruto, where they just call him by like these different names. Like Sarada is just salad, salad. But yeah, I like it actually. I was kind of skeptical at first because like. I guess I really was just skeptical of like the opening like what's going to be foreshadowed ahead of time because I thought like it was really I mean it kind of already is, but it's already diverging from like the whole ninja, the idea of what ninja is, and just kind of going to like more of a magical type of world. But as far as like this first episode, it was actually pretty well done. It felt really grounded. It really had that Naruto vibe to it, despite it being a newer generation with like slightly more advanced stuff added to it,
like trains.
I mean, they had trains in the movie, but
those were ninja trains.
Oh, so we're talking about just like trains.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a new invention.
Yeah. Same with laptops. Although I don't think I saw any.
Yeah, you didn't see one in this one.
But it was definitely there in like the manga for sure. Chapter 700 or something like that. Yeah, so I guess the big like question is well, there's a lot of questions that this episode leaves off, and I actually like that about it. Is that it's less like the first Naruto where it's like, okay, this is what's happening. This is gonna happen later on. How does it get to that point?
It reminds me of Shippuden.
Shippuden? Yeah. Oh,
Shippuden started in the future and then skipped back.
Yeah.
So if they're doing that, it's probably going to be like a mid-series fight. Or not even mid-series. That was like, what, 4 seasons in that he fights Sasuke at Orochimaru's hideout?
Yeah, we're still talking about Shippuden. Yeah, it was about the second arc, I guess, you say, because the idea with like that first, those few, it was going to the Land of the Sand to save Gaara. That was like one full arc, you would say.
Yeah.
In the following arc, that's when you meet Sai and Captain Yamato, and that's when they infiltrate Orochimaru's hideout in Sasuke. So it was like a good season. So for this is like takes place like years after.
Yeah.
So they're really
hopefully that's not the end of the series fight though.
You think? I feel like that's definitely like the very end.
I would like it to be like mid-series.
Really?
But I want it to be a long series.
Oh, yeah.
Like Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, like long.
Okay. Because like I don't really watch a lot of shonen shows, so it's maybe I'm just not like used to having like very long arcs or seasons. So
you watch a lot of like slice of life and
12 episode length like shows. So for them to like foreshadow something like years, like probably a good 100 or so episodes like down the line, maybe not even that. I kind of am interested in how they're going to kind of keep the pacing of the show, because now it's at that point. I'm kind of thinking a bit like the same with My Hero Academia. That's a shonen show. It's going to take a good while before like our main protagonist in that show becomes what he says is the greatest hero of all time. So it's always like building up to that point, but what's going to happen in the middle of all that, and if it's relevant or not.
I want to know what happens to Naruto.
Apparently he dies according to like what that guy said. Yeah, so, and who knows what happened to everyone else if Naruto dies.
Yeah, that's some, like, how did he kill Naruto? And I'm not sure if it was with you or with someone else, but we were having a talk. I'm like, if he killed Naruto, he had to kill him when he was alone.
I guess so, yeah.
Because there's no way anyone in the series can take him and Sasuke at the same time.
Yeah.
And if they do, I call bullshit. Like, it's like Goku and Vegeta.
If someone beat them, it's like, no. It's like, it's possible.
It's like,
oh, God.
It's like once they hit their final, like when they're at their final strength and then fight someone and they're together, I don't see it happening where they lose.
Yeah.
Especially since they have good synergy. They know what they're going to do before they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So as one's finishing an attack, the other was already in the middle of theirs to land it as soon as the other one finished.
Yeah, I would say, I mean...
Like Goku and Vegeta, they kind of butt heads, so they don't have
They don't have that, like, same type of, like, level of thought.
Yeah, they don't meld together well as a team because they don't work at... They come from a race where team doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But Sasuke and Naruto, they were on a team. They grew up fighting together and fighting each other. There's
no I in team, but there's an I in Saiyan.
Yeah. But what about Ninja?
It also has... There's enough letters in Ninja to call it a team. Same with Saiyan. Damn it. They're breaking the formula. I forgot what I was gonna say about like Naruto. It does definitely feel interesting how it really does feel like Boruto is its own thing because they do not like really touch on anything that's happened beforehand. This is like Boruto's story. This is what's happening in the now, and so I'm kind of wondering like what like a newer generation who hasn't watched like the previous Naruto would jump into this and get out of it. I wonder if it'd be like some of the equal value to what we were used to watching.
I don't know.
That's so
we saw nobody turn into just the greatest thing in the world.
Not to mention like you mentioned it, but the choreography for fighting was in that first episode.
Oh my god, the fight choreography and just all of the Naruto series has always been top notch.
It's really good.
You feel every hit and you see every hit.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely like it a lot more than Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, it's like, oh, these are such epic fights. Like, but you don't see anything. You see arms do this, and then guys do this to block, and then just flashes of people moving. In this, you see the punch, the kick, and then the flips.
Literally everyone's Hercule. Where it's like, is anyone getting this? And everyone, even Krillin's like, yeah.
It's a good fight.
It's like, man, he's really landing this blow. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
When did he land a blow? I saw a Kamehameha wave and he dodged it. Like, what?
But definitely here, you like see everything. So much so that you want to like pause it and like rewind it and just kind of like look slowly at like how each like blow connected, how each person anticipated like blocking a hit.
Oh my god, the fight. My two favorite fights are always going to be Obito and Kakashi versus, and then Sasuke versus Naruto at the end.
Yeah, because they definitely like focused in like on the taijutsu part of things. Most other ones really involve like using like a big or grandiose jutsu to get the job done.
Either it's a really big attack or it's genjutsu and it's over.
That full like Itachi fight with Sasuke versus Naruto.
They're just staring at each other for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I did really like the fight choreography there.
It's weird seeing Konohamaru as an adult.
Yeah.
The worst one to see as an adult is Muegi.
Oh my god, yeah. That's so weird.
It's like she doesn't have an adult hairstyle.
She seems like she just grew. That's it. Not grew up. She grew.
Yeah. She's just tall.
She's just a taller Muegi. Konohamaru still has this what was that thing like it was it's kind of like the Databayo type of deal, but it's Kore, something like that. He still has that on him. Whereas I think Naruto dropped that, especially like in the English dub. It was Believe It. Yeah. He stopped that like mid first arc, I guess, with the Hohaku arc and everything. He just stopped in the middle of that and just never said it again. And I think Naruto, like Japanese dub, did kind of carry it on for a longer period of time. But
yeah, he kept Databayo all the way through Naruto, and then he started using it less and less through Shippuden.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and so I'm most likely anticipating that later down the line for Boruto, the animation is going to cut off. Like, this is really good animation for the first episode, but it's going to like cut off just to make more and more episodes because it is a shonen. Yeah, though I'm worried about that. I wouldn't mind it if the story keeps my attention going. And considering that they already like said something like way ahead of time, it's all about building to that certain point. Unless they have fillers, then it's bound to have fillers somewhere as the manga tries to keep up with itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to like wonder like exactly like how long I'm gonna wait until that moment, and how's Boruto gonna get to that point where he has the weird arm thing, and he like I guess fully masters that eye technique. What even is that?
I don't know. Like, I really want to know what it is.
Because they pulled one of those things where the person unconsciously uses it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the idea with how Kakashi somehow awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan, but didn't know about it until later on. Or I guess, well, actually, that's the only example I have of that. So it's definitely interesting.
He also has the Byakugan in his right eye.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if that, or is that just like part of it?
Well, he's not using Byakugan, but that's definitely a Hyuga eye, which means something happened to Hinata.
Oh man, I'd rather not think that she died and then he transplanted an eye over to his. Maybe like.
I think that's what happened.
I don't want to say because like he has part Hyuga blood, so like there's a possibility that he could awaken at least in one eye.
But they both have pupils, him and Himawari.
And it has to be...
They can do the Byakugan, but that's not using the Byakugan. That's a
regular eye.
That's a regular eye.
Unless he went blind in that eye.
Because they've had blind characters before, and it's just a whited out pupil.
I guess so. Because you do notice like the whole cut right there.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's definitely a big question there too. But also the arm, how it glows. There's like a tattoo print on it.
Yeah.
I had to wonder about that. And where in the world he gets that?
That right there.
Yeah. And the thing is that the guy he faces has the exact same thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about like, what is that? Is that some kind of like ancient type of jutsu or something like that?
Because, I don't think it's anything ancient because you don't see it on anybody. Throughout all of Naruto, there's no even like thought of some mystical tattoos.
Mm-hmm. I guess at this point we can only theorize it because
like the closest thing you can get is the 1,000 healings that Tsunade and Sakura use.
Yeah, that's true. I would say, I mean it's kind of out there, but like the whole thing with like Naruto's arm, how it's always bandaged up, and I always thought that the reason he does that is so it doesn't look just outlandish to people when they see it, because it's essentially just a white arm that just has the same like physical structure as his other arm.
The white Zetsu arm?
Yeah. But what if it has something else to it?
I don't think it does. Because
I know with like this is jumping to Fairy Tail, like not to like after like a 2-year like or a year hiatus, he has an arm bandaged up, and it's not because like there's an injury. He's just like saving it for like a certain fight later on. So I wonder if it's that kind of deal where he's hiding something under his arm in case he needs it. I guess you can also think it might be that too if you played the Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, where like you have that costume for him, or I think it was the last Naruto character, where like a lot of his special moves comes from like his right fist, and like it emits a weird chakra glow to it. It's more orange than like the standard blue color.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if maybe that's just like that's like definitely a stretch, but I mean we don't really know what's exactly underneath Naruto's arm unless it's just the white Zetsu hand.
I really think it's just the white Zetsu hand.
Yeah. Because
especially since the other guy has it too.
And it's a different type of it's on the other arm. So like what?
Like the theory would hold up if Sasuke ever got his arm, where it's like, oh, maybe it's something to do with their arms.
Yeah.
But Sasuke never got his.
So it would seem to make sense that like these two definitely have some kind of close relation, where they both have a very similar technique. Maybe it's like from a teacher later down the line. He just so happens to walk a different path than Boruto.
I think we're leaving the age of ninja and heading into an age of wizardry.
Yo, Wizard Boruto. I'm a what?
Because the thing is, I have no idea like the validity of this, but I read somewhere that it's Kishimoto, right?
Yeah.
That Kishimoto originally wanted to like conceptualize Naruto to have like magical powers.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't exactly know how to like differentiate that from like the ninja techniques. So he just kept it as ninjutsu. So I'm wondering if that's what this is going to be. Adding the mystical element.
That's definitely weird because like they definitely build up, especially near the end of Shippuden, that it's all from the chakra tree. This is where people learn how to use ninjutsu, genjutsu, etc. Mm-hmm. It's through chakra. And if this is something completely different from all of that, that'd be crazy. Well, then again, like it's not like the scope of Naruto's world has only been like divided into like these nations, not the entire planet. So. Mm-hmm. I mean, they definitely have that land to cover as well.
I wonder, like, what else is on the planet? Because it seems like this is just happening on one big fucking continent.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like a Eurasian supercontinent.
So there might be just like some other side to it all. Yeah, we're still able to see like all these different like areas. I mean, like in the manga, they just introduced like a whole new different like land with like a ruler and a prince and everything. Then Naruto, or I guess Boruto and Co. like get involved. So that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it's like that.
Especially since there's runoff on both sides.
Mm-hmm. So there's gotta be like more area. Mm-hmm. God, like it makes you wonder like what happened back then too. If it really was something like significant enough to carry it all the way over to the generation for Boruto. But yeah, again, we can only really take guesses at like what might be there.
That's a cool little thing that someone made.
Yeah, so it's just like a gigantic continent.
Fill in the rest.
Mm-hmm. But right now, as far as the first episode, there's a second episode preview, and it just kind of shows like I guess not Naruto, Boruto, kind of getting used to the whole academy life. Mm-hmm. It looks like he's gonna like butt heads with Sai's kid and Ino's kid.
Yeah.
As far as like where they're gonna go from that, I just have a bad feeling it's gonna be kind of a slow pace upbringing, which it does make sense because like at this point in time, Boruto's like very much unaware of what's to happen to him later on. So it might be just like to set up the whole shonen vibe. This is going to take a long time to tell. I mean, I wonder if...
Because, yeah, even though we all know a lot of the characters, they kind of have to, like, start all over.
Yeah, they have to build up a whole new, like, history for everything. Similar with how, like, Sasuke developed, like, his hatred and how he came to terms with that and how Naruto became who he is. Mm-hmm. So, makes you wonder, like... Who'd be the Sasuke in that place? I mean, it'd probably be that guy in the preview.
Inojin?
Yeah. But we haven't seen him yet, so it makes you wonder like when he's going to show up. But yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. I really do appreciate like this episode, just having that Naruto vibe to it. If anything, it's kind of more of a brushed up version of the first episode Naruto. And it's definitely weird coming into this series knowing like the context. Mm-hmm. As I continually ask myself how are the newer generation going to take this new show without any context of Naruto itself.
Yeah. So you have Team Konohamaru, which has Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki. And then Team Moegi has Ino Shikacho with Inojin, Chocho, and Shikadai.
Yeah. I wonder how we're going to be really attached to those characters as well, especially with Shikadai being kind of the same. I'm glad they gave Shikadai a different like Japanese voice, because like even though, like they could have totally like gave him the same voice actor, but they chose not to because like okay, that's different. Even in like the video game for Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, initially Boruto was voiced by Naruto's voice actress, but they decided to change that a bit when they released the DLC for Boruto. So he had his own voice. So I really appreciate that. Really
That's
coming,
cool.
yeah.
Huh. Freaking Azuma's kid's gonna be aged up as well.
Yeah.
Freaking Lee's kid.
Looks like Guy.
You know his name?
I don't. I think it's
Metal Lee.
Metal Lee?
Yeah.
Metal.
Metal Lee. And then Himawari.
Oh, Himawari's adorable. Wait, does she have the Byakugan eye?
No.
Yeah.
They both have pupils. That's what I'm saying. It has to be Hinata's.
Well, the thing is that Himawari in like one of the specials was able to use the Byakugan.
Well, like I said, the Byakugan is a technique, but the having no pupil is
it's a natural.
a Hyuga clan eye. Just like Sasuke can use the Sharingan, but his eye's naturally a black eye.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we're gonna run out of space on the camcorder really soon. So, yeah. So just like for my, just kind of like, I guess to summarize for me, oh, it's adorable. Pupils. Yeah. Like I actually really am looking forward to how this story's going to play out, and I'm really hoping that not so much filler, especially with the first Naruto, being that there's a few fillers here and there, but definitely after like episode 132 or something like that, they have like 100 episodes worth of filler.
Yeah, it got ridiculous after a point.
Yeah, still watched all of it.
Yeah, so did I.
Just like, God. But yeah, your final thoughts, Gabe?
Yeah, final thoughts. I just really want to know what that eye is. Like, I really...
What is all that?
Even more, though. I don't care about... I want to know about the arm. I want to know about, like, the mysticism behind their arms with the tattoos.
There's a lot of, definitely, for the first episode, a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of questions.
Looked a lot like, who's his name from Overwatch?
Who? One of those two brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like the weird tats going on as they were using their special.
Yeah, and then they use their special and you see it the dragons charge up.
Yeah, that was cool. So it definitely has like more of like almost like a sibling like vibe to it.
Mm-hmm. People are thinking that the nerd kid is the villain.
Like he takes on like a new name. I kind of hope not, but like I definitely have my suspicions about it.
It wouldn't be the first time something like that happened.
Yeah.
Because didn't Kabuto do that? He didn't come in as Kabuto. He came in as like some other name.
Yeah, he was completely different. But yeah, all right. I guess we're good.
We're good.
All righty then. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. #bye.